Shout out to G-Man Boxing. Where's the piss bottle? It's over there.
Mind games or excuses? That's what I want to ask. Now, I touched on this in a live stream, but I'm actually recording this before I actually go live, so I'm going to give my 2 cents, my kind of analogy on what I'm saying about Tyson Fury and potential mind games he might be playing, or potential excuses he might be going over. Now, Fury Joshua, I fully believe that we'll see that fight next, right? I think that the signs seem promising. It looks likely it's going to happen. I don't really know what either man could do. You know, you suppose you... looks like Usyk is actually going to fight Joyce. So if this goes down, who's AJ going to fight? Is he going to give Dylan White a rematch in the summer if White gets through Povetkin? Is Fury going to just take the plunge and fight Wilder in a trilogy fight? I really don't know what either guy is going to do if they don't fight each other. Now, this fight, if it does take place, will likely take place in June, July, summer kind of time, probably in the Middle East. I reckon, to be honest with you, it would take place in the Middle East irrespective of the restrictions. To be honest with you, I know fans in the UK, and the UK, I mean Ireland is a farce. It really is, with regards to things, because everything. But the UK are planning to have fans back in by May. Still wouldn't have near full capacity if that fight happened in June, July. So I think irrespective of restrictions, it will be in the Middle East anyway. But Fury, a lot of people have been saying that they feel that Fury is getting ready, not necessarily to have a bad performance, but maybe even to lose. And look, this is a tough fight for either guy. But a lot of people are saying that he's already preparing the excuses, i.e. swimming in the sea in Markham with his shirt off, not looking in the best shape, saying that Billy Joe needs to stay active because inactivity hurts fighters, and also alluding to that when Josh Warrington lost, given the fact that Fury, if this fight takes place, for argument's sake, in June, he will have been out of the ring for 16 months, the exact amount of time Josh Warrington was out of the ring when he fought Mauricio Lara. With Mauricio Lara, Josh Warrington, I think if you had a sharp Josh Warrington who was out of the ring for 6 months, it would still be a tough fight, judging by the styles. I think there was a style problem there, so I don't look at that as an isolated incident. Billy Joe has been, if he fights Canelo in May, it will be a 6 month gap, and by his standards, that's quite good. By his standards over the last few years. So a few people are alluding to that. Now, that very well could be. It very well could be. With regards to the Markham video, I've heard of conflicting reports on that. I've seen some people who say, oh my god, look at the shape Fury's in. And whilst I say, look, in that video he wasn't in supreme shape, it wasn't exactly, a massive worry as far as I was concerned. Yeah, he's probably carrying about a stone extra, but it's nothing major compared to what he has been. But you saw other people say that video was a mind game, because a lot of people were claiming that Markham, I don't know whereabouts, someone said it's in Leicestershire, Markham, wherever that is in the UK. My geography of the UK is terrible. But they said that at that time, because that was about 2 weeks ago, at the time it was very icy. So that video, they were saying, basically looked like it was done during the summer or kind of mid-autumn, as opposed to, now, where, it's icy. Well, it's cold, definitely. So some people were doubting the validity of the times and dates in that video, making maybe people wanting to say, oh, look at the shape Fury's in, when actually he's in a lot better shape. Look, I don't know. The only people who know are the people who are in camp with Tyson Fury, who are around him. So I personally don't know. But do I doubt for a minute that there's mind games being played by Fury? Tyson Fury beat Klitschko at his own game. Alright, I believe Klitschko has a PhD in psychology. I could be wrong on that, but he's got a PhD, definitely. Vladimir Klitschko knew all about getting into fighters' heads. He didn't need to trash talk them. Little things, shortchanging them, the spongy canvas, the gloves, a lot of things Klitschko would do to really get into to get into a fighter's head. And Tyson Fury come along. Even to Anthony Joshua, the USB drive. Do you remember that when he had said, I have the result on this USB drive? Doing that before the fight. I think, do you remember when, it was when they had their first face-to-face, and AJ had his hands up and Klitschko was like, no, it should be like that. Little subtle things like that Klitschko would do. Obviously, with Joshua beat Klitschko, but little subtle things like that he would do to just kind of stamp his authority before he got in the ring. He would do that to fighters. Whereas Tyson Fury went as Batman to the press conference. You know, he really put it on Klitschko. And as many people have said, and I feel this was true as well, Fury had that fight kind of already. He had Klitschko beaten before he got in the ring when he brought up that sauna story. You know, when they were in the steam room, Fury was already there. Klitschko went in a few minutes later. Fury stayed until Klitschko left, and this Fury, that was a mental victory. And I'm sure for Vladimir, maybe it didn't mean much at the time, but in some ways, you could tell that affected Klitschko when he brought that up. You could just see it straight away. So Fury is a master of the mind games. So with him, it's very hard to know, are these mind games where he's, saying, fighters who are inactive, when he himself is inactive, showing these videos of him maybe looking a bit fleshy around the middle, though he's always fleshy, but a bit more fleshy. You wonder, are these excuses he's preparing for maybe a lackluster performance if he wins, or potentially a loss, because I don't doubt that he could lose this fight, definitely not? Or is this to give Anthony Joshua a false sense of security? Is this to get into Anthony Joshua's head and say, kind of almost, well, I don't need to be in the greatest shape to beat you, I don't need to do any of these things? It's an interesting one with Tyson Fury. It's very interesting. Fury's an interesting character. He's an interesting case study, definitely. And for me personally, if I had to get, it's weird, because I do genuinely believe that some of the things he's doing are to try and get into Anthony Joshua's head because he knows this fight is coming up. Because I think I already said it, I don't really know what either guy is going to do without each other, if you know what I mean. Not that they need one another necessarily, but Usyk is likely going to fight Joyce next. So unless they do a 180 and they put Usyk in with AJ, if this Fury AJ fight doesn't happen, that might happen. Wilder against Fury, I suppose he could do that, but it wouldn't generate anywhere near as much as the rematch did, because we've seen it already. We've seen Wilder make an absolute arse of himself with some of these sayings that he's been coming out with, despite water and stuff like that. So I'm thinking we're getting this fight next, but it's interesting. I'd love to know in the comment section what people think. Is Fury getting some excuses ready, i.e. the inactivity, saying the Billy Joe, saying the Josh Warrington inactivity is, damaging for fighters? Is he ready in excuses, or is that a mind game? Be interested to know people's comments in the comment section below. I just wanted to touch on this in the video. Didn't really go in depth, but I just wanted to give my 2 cents on it and just have a chat about it. I want to know what people's opinions is, really, because I'm going to be doing a live stream obviously later on this evening. Not sure if I'm going to upload this before or after. I'm not actually sure. Might just upload this tomorrow. But I'll hold you up on that. I might actually upload this evening. But yeah, be interested to know your thoughts. Leave it in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button if you did. Subscribe, of course, if you're new. If this is going up before the live stream, which we're doing at 8 this evening, a little past 8 this evening, then we'll talk about it more then. Subscribe if you're new, of course. Hashtag GMansRocks, all that good stuff. Lads and lassies, I'll talk to you. Peace.